Fred Richani, TSC, with some really sad news. According to Dave Meltzer and the Cauliflower Alley Club, Rocky Johnson, the patriarch of the Johnson family, legendary professional wrestler, broke down barriers in the 60s, 70s, and 80s for the NWA, the National Wrestling Alliance. Also broke down barriers in the World Wrestling Federation, now known as WWE, the first WWE African-American Tag Team Champion with Tony Atlas, father of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, a man that has positively impacted many people, has unfortunately passed away at the age of 75. We here at TSC send our deepest condolences to Johnson's loved ones, all his friends, all his family. Really sad deal. I actually had the pleasure of meeting Rocky Johnson and interviewing him almost a decade ago. I participated in my first event for Bullying We're Kicking It, which is a great charity here in the New Jersey area. And he came to the Hard Rock Cafe in New York City, showed up, didn't charge us a cent, didn't charge us a dime, just came in, wanted to volunteer his time, wanted to raise awareness, not just to prevent bullying, but also help fund after-school programs and all the great things Kicking It does. And he was just an absolute gentleman, super down-to-earth. Got to talk to him for a couple minutes off camera, got to talk to him a few minutes on camera. Just, you could tell this was a dude that had been through a lot in his career, experienced a lot of racism, a lot of prejudice, a lot of hardships, but he overcame, had a great family, raised a great son, did his thing in the ring, out of the ring, and man, what can I say other than he absolutely left an amazing legacy in professional wrestling. And before we go, I want to show you guys a few clips from that interview I did with Rocky Johnson, just to give some fans an idea that may not be familiar with him, just an idea of what he went through and the type of man he was, which is one hell of a man. Rest in peace, Rocky Johnson. Our deepest condolences to his loved ones. His mark in wrestling will always be felt.
What brings you here tonight?
What brings you here is very simple, for bullying, because I believe in that, and I see a lot of it every day in my travels, traveling all over the country. I see a lot of that, and I believe it has to stop. But I also believe the parents have to start with it at home, to let their kids know they're just as good as any other kid, and they don't need to be bullied and pushed around. My philosophy has always been ABC. Anybody can if they want to. And that these kids, I'm here to help them. I was growing up, I was bullied. I have 7 brothers, and yet I was the smallest. I was bullied. But I believed in myself, and I believed I can do what anybody else can do. And it took me on to be, I'm not saying you have to be an athlete, to be a heavyweight champ of the world. You can be in computers, you can be in anything. But believe in yourself that anybody can. And that's what I want to try and drill in these kids' heads.
And your son, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, is also an inspiration. The hashtag Team Bring It. What are your thoughts on him and what he's been able to do? Especially since a lot of people don't know. He wasn't drafted. He got cut from the CFL. Ended up going to WWE.
Right.
Originally got booed. A lot of people were against him.
And he really didn't want to get into wrestling when he talked to me. And then he wanted to, and then I tried to discourage him because I didn't want him to go through what I went through with the racial prejudice in my day and all this stuff. And I told him, I will train you on one condition, 150%, and within 2 years you'll be a champion. And within a year he was WWF World Heavyweight Champion. So if he could do it, my son is no different than anybody else's son. So if he can do it, anybody can do it if they want to.